shot and killed for what the fuck you doing? You can die a tragic death. Right. You tried to sacrifice me, bro. You tried to sacrifice me. Right.
I was mindlessly scrolling on TikTok the other day, and there's this one moment captured on film I can't seem to get out of my mind.
So that's even that's not a conversation no more. Cause if I say anything to them and they got a pistol on them and they fear me, they're gonna put a bullet in my brain right then and there.
And it's chilling because 3 years later, on June the 18th, after being robbed of $50,000, X would look into Michael Boatwright's eyes and ask one question: what's this for? And without any remorse.
Police investigating the death of rapper Xxxtentacion reportedly say he was the target of thieves.
I wanna go back in time, precisely to the night of June the 17th, 2018, to give you a detailed outlook on the dark events that would lead up to Jassy Onfroy's tragic demise.
Or if shit get hard on me, it's because I deserve it. That's point blank, period. Everybody will get a death. Everybody will get a death that is deserving. Everybody will get a life that is deserving. You will get what the fuck you deserve. Karma.
8 p.m., June the 17th, Lauderdale Hill Point. 4 people meet in a dark alleyway to talk business. Michael Boatwright, Robert Allen, Tanisha Clark, and Tony Robbins. The 2 men, along with Tony Robbins, got into contact with Tanisha Clark through a car rental app called Toro in the hopes that they could rent her 2017 black Dodge Journey for $60 and to return the SUV back to its user in 24 hours. Tony Robbins then hands the keys to the Journey over to Robert Allen. In her mind, she probably thinks Big Rob and the boys might go out to a strip club and get their freak on. But no, she couldn't be further from the truth. She didn't know Robert Allen was a part of a 4-way call led by Dedrick Williams earlier that day, and the 4 men had one mission: to orchestrate an armed robbery 17 minutes away in Deerfield. All 4 men went to bed that night knowing that as the sun set on June the 18th, somebody else's fortune had to be in their pockets, by all means necessary. 6 a.m., June the 18th. Cleopatra Bernard, Jassy's mother, walks into his room and wakes him up. Xxxtentacion then logs into Leagues of Legends at 6:05 a.m. and plays until 6:27.
Yo, I want everybody to go get a fucking PC so we can all play League of Legends together. Cause I fucking love League of Legends. Can you guys play with me? Please.
He probably has breakfast with his family and tells his mother about his plans to purchase a couple of motorcycles at Riva Motorsports in Deerfield. But first, he has to withdraw $250,000 from Bank of America. After hearing this, Cleo thought it would be better if he had his step-uncle Leonard Kerr accompany him to the bank since he was going to withdraw so much money. So, Leonard and X hop into the rapper's BMW i8 and head to Bank of America. Meanwhile, at 1:18 p.m. in Lauderdale Point, Trevor Newsom, Michael Boatwright, and Robert Allen all arrive at Dedrick Williams' house. Firearms and black hoodies are loaded into the Dodge Journey, seatbelts are fastened, and they start their 17-minute journey to the suburbs of Deerfield. Back at Bank of America, after standing in line for 20 minutes, Xxxtentacion finally withdraws his money, but the bank are only able to hand him $50,000, with the other $200,000 being scheduled for a later date. Surveillance cameras at Riva Motorsports capture a pitch-black BMW i8 pulling into the parking lot at 3:30 p.m. Rapper Xxxtentacion is driving the vehicle. He has on him a Louis Vuitton satchel stuffed with $50,000 across his chest and a diamond-encrusted Cuban link around his neck. He walks through the front door accompanied by none other than his Jamaican uncle, Leonard Kerr. 2 minutes later at 3:32 p.m., Dedrick Williams and company also arrive at Riva Motorsports in their black Dodge Journey. Dedrick and Robert Allen hop out of the SUV with intentions to go inside Riva and buy ski masks to conceal their identity once they finally find a victim to rob. Little did they know that through the front door of Riva Motorsports, they would lay their eyes on SoundCloud's most prolific rapper who had just landed a #1 Billboard album in question mark, Xxxtentacion. And it's not an understatement when I say Dedrick Williams couldn't believe his eyes when he saw X. With no time to waste, whilst inside the store, Robert Allen pulls out his phone and alerts the 2 men inside the Dodge about who they'd just laid their eyes on inside the store.
2 of the defendants, Robert Allen, who's going to testify, and Dietrich Williams, who's on the end with the bow tie, go inside the store to purchase neoprene masks. They spot Jase inside the store. And so when they spot Jase, who has the blue hair and he has a very expensive gold necklace on and his Louis Vuitton satchel, they immediately, Robert Allen and Dietrich Williams, start communicating to the two co-defendants, Trayvon Newsome and Michael Boatwright, who are still in the Dodge Journey waiting for them to come back to the car. And it's the communication, I'm not giving you exact words, but something to the effect of that they spot the victim who's inside Riva Motorsports. And they are automatically spotting the fact that he's a celebrity.
Once the ski masks were in hand, look closely at how Dedrick and Robert Allen deliberately avoid eye contact with Xxxtentacion and immediately rush back to the journey. At around 3:40 p.m., Robert Allen and Dedrick Williams make it back to the Dodge Journey. Dedrick is in the driver's seat. Michael Boatwright occupies the passenger seat with Robert and Trayvon in the back. And while the four men sit inside that SUV, an argument breaks out. Robert Allen allegedly states that he wants nothing to do with this whole mission since he's already on Riva's surveillance footage. And when Michael and Trayvon heard Big Rob mention surveillance, they too started getting cold feet.
I tell him I saw Triple X. They get quiet and Dietrich ask me what are they going to do. I tell them, I don't think that's a good idea because I just went in on camera.
How did Michael Boatwright feel about that?
He didn't really want to do it.
How about Trayvon Newsome?
And when the leader of this whole operation, Dedrick Williams, sensed fear amongst his men, he popped those three words we as men use to question each other's manhood. Are you pussy?
And what did Dietrich Williams say?
He asked me to scare.
He asked the two, Trayvon Newsome and Michael Boatwright, if they're scared.
Yes.
And what, if anything, in response to Dietrich Williams saying, are you scared, did Michael Boatwright do?
So I'm going to get him.
All right, we're going to get him. Who's the him?
Triple X.
What, if anything, in response to Dietrich Williams saying, are you scared, did Trayvon Newsome do?
He said the same thing.
All right, you talk.
I think he said the same thing. Thank you.
So, since three of the four men have agreed to the mission, at 3:48 p.m., Dedrick Williams leaves the parking lot of Riva Motorsports and parks in a mini parking lot across the street to avoid the cameras.
I go from there. Are you still in the parking lot at this point?
No, we're across the street.
Why did you move from the Riva's parking lot to park across the street?
He came up with some type of theory saying that if we leave out of the parking lot and move next to the next parking lot and across the street in that parking lot, that it'll look like we left.
So it's Chucky's idea to act like you left so that you're not on camera?
Yes.
And at 3:55 p.m., Xxxtentacion and his uncle walk out of Riva Motorsports, and as they're about to drive and exit Riva, Dedrick cuts him off. Michael Boatwright and Trayvon Newsome hop out of that SUV, and X has firearms pointed to his face. A scuffle for his Louis sachet breaks out, and as all of this is happening, Jassie's Jamaican uncle, Leonard Kerr, opens the door and runs for his life, leaving X alone and exposed. And after Michael finally gets his hands on that Louis bag, Jassie then looks into his eyes, and his final words were, "What's this for?" And without Michael batting an eye,
This is something that has really stunned fans of Xxxtentacion, a rising star here in South Florida. Fans began to gather here right after learning about the shooting that claimed his life. They just held a moment of silence, but they've been here listening to his music, praying, and lighting candles in his memory.
At 4:23 p.m., the four men make it back to Lauderhill Point with $50,000, ski masks, and a bunch of ammunition. Dedrick takes the initiative upon himself to split the money amongst the group, with Michael, Dedrick, and Trayvon all getting $15,000 and Robert Allen only taking home $5,000. And little did they know that this would be a huge mistake. At 6:55 p.m., reports were sent out to the police in regards to a black Dodge Journey that had just been involved in an accident, and the men used Jassey's stolen money to pay for the damages.
After the robbery and murder, the rental car was involved in an accident while 3 of the men were still inside, and prosecutors insinuated they used some of the stolen cash to help pay for the damage.
Describe the money that you saw in their hands.
$100 denomination, all crispy bills.
As Jassey was laid to rest, investigators were making headway in this case. They gathered surveillance footage from Riva Motorsports, and they realized the Dodge Journey that arrived 2 minutes after X and his uncle was the same SUV that ended up involved in Jassey's demise. And it turns out employees from Riva Motorsports were familiar with Diedrich, since he had been somewhat of a frequent customer, with one employee recognizing Diedrich through his heavily tattooed face and his bright orange sandals. And after investigators named their suspects, search warrants were out to barricade Diedrich's house, and investigators retrieved the exact ski masks and weapons used in Jassey's slaying inside a Cadillac that belonged to Diedrich's grandmother. And on the 28th of June, Diedrich took to Instagram and posted this picture with the caption, "Don't piss me off, you never know what happens next," and he was arrested 8 hours later. And now, 4 years and 8 months later, thanks to Robert Allen receiving $10,000 less than Diedrich, Michael, and Trayvon, we have a star witness to spill all the beans on what exactly went down on June the 18th, 2018.